Hello, folks. Welcome to another episode of Fictional Character Motivation, where I go over movies, watch movies that I like or that I've seen, and see what I can glean from them. See what little takeaways, little tips, little hints, little suggestions, little guidances that I can take away and pass to you so you can apply it to your daily life. I'm your host, Quan, and today we're going to be talking about the Adjustment Bureau on how your choices and habits determine our, our paths. Hope our guys are doing good, and here we go. The Adjustment Bureau came out in 2011. Just as he is on the brink of winning a Senate seat, politician David Norris meets a ballerina named Ellis Salas. Though David is instantly smitten, mysterious men conspire to keep him away from the beautiful dancer. David learns that he is facing the powerful agents of fate itself, and glimpsing the future laid out for him, must either accept a predetermined path that does not include Elise, or else defy fate to be with her. I really, I actually really liked this movie. I liked how this movie took a spin on how life could seem. That these certain people have a job, and their job is to steer you toward the path that you are supposed to go to. David was destined to be a great politician, as much as I don't like politicians, until he bumped into Elise. Once he did that, he still wanted to be a politician, but he wanted to be with her. The Bureau couldn't handle that, so they veered his direction in multiple ways, which to counter that, he done things that they didn't expect. For instance, he met her pretty much on a bus, and they pretty much traded numbers, or no, they couldn't trade numbers. They were trying to be smitten, and the pretty much Bureau made sure that they didn't bump into each other again. He rode that same bus for a year, and in that year, he bumped into her, or he saw her walking down that same street. Another thing is, once they tried to divide them up again, pretty much after that meeting, he decided to meet her again and literally stay the whole day with her. Like, literally just like, look, cancel my plans. I need to stay with her. This is how this has to go. This is how this goes. And I'm going to stay with her as long as I can. Which they didn't expect that. There's a lot of things that he done to kind of pretty much change that out. And eventually they had to bring in someone to where they had to break it down to him, to where that if he does this, that he won't be great, but she won't be great either. And even with that guy telling him to willingly force him to walk away from her, to cause a very bad incident. Soon, when he was doing great again in his job, to where he was at a firm place, he decided to go for her again and risk it yet again. And so with that being said, he took pretty much his pathway to fate from the hands of the agents of fate, and put it into his own hands, his and her hands. And if you see the movie, it's pretty good because it has a very interesting little ending that I like a lot about it. But how can you take more control in life so you are on your own path instead of something possibly steering you in a way? Well, first off, examine your habits and your choices. I've talked about this multiple times, but most of the time your habits, what you choose right now, can affect you in the future. As Terry Crews once put it, that if you eat a donut today, you won't be fat. If you eat a donut every day for a year, you could gain some significant weight depending on how it goes. And Vice versa. If you work out one day and that's it, you won't get fit. If you work out either 3 or 4 days a week or every day in a certain way, you could gradually get fit in time. These choices, these habits make what your future is going to look like. So keep that in mind. And that doesn't only go for fitness. That goes for business. That goes for financial. That goes for relationship. That goes for who you are as a person. If you don't make habits and choices to figure out all this, to know where you're going with this, then you might as well be handing your fate to some random agents who might not have a say in what you should be doing. They just, it just happens that that's what you're doing. Another thing that I advise you is, are you in a good spot to change it? I know that life can sometimes be complicated, and with those complications, is it a good time for you to change that habit, to change that choice? Some of us may be working a job that we don't want to work, and we want to, go to a different job, go to a better job. But right now, can we change it? Can we change it instantly, or can we change it gradually? Like, while you're working that job, you go to school. While you're working that job, you study up on something you want to do. While you're working that job, you put in applications for other places. While you're working that job, you try to build up your side hustle to where you can finally make it a official business, official small business. These are a lot of things that you can do. But is it good for you right now? And when are you going to do it? And the last part that I would say is, do you want it bad enough to accept the risk? Once again, from the last video, there's a lot of things that go with risk. Change always has an interesting balance of progress and risk. And in some cases, it's both. When you want to change, when you want to progress, you have to risk something. Whether it is time, whether it's your usual thought patterns, whether it's hanging out with this person or doing this thing, watching this show, taking time, whatever the case may be. There's always something in order for you to get something. Sometimes you have to take away something that you're doing. And that's a common thing. Like I know the main stigma right now when you're making pretty much business or whatnot, or doing anything, is if you want to make a successful business, if you want to get a successful side hustle, you might need to lose sleep for a while. And a lot of people, from big entrepreneurs, Gary Vee, to a lot of people say that, but also some of them are against it. Like I said, Gary Vee is also in the same thing. He values sleep, but when he's up, he puts out that output that makes it seem like he's been awake for 24 hours, and he digs it. And you have to understand that if you want to do something that you like, that is important to you, that you dislike, whatever it means, that you have to sacrifice a certain thing. And that certain thing could be something different. So keep that in mind. I hope this helps. To recap, to take control, a little bit more control of your life, examine your habits and choices. Are you in a good spot to change any of that for either the long term or instantly? And do you want it bad enough to accept the risk? And if you check mark all those and say yes to that last one, then go for it. Do it. Because eventually you can take control of your own life and don't have to worry about handing your fate to mysterious figures in suits. Hope this helped out. Hope this landed for you. Please let me know if it has. Like, share, subscribe, follow, comment, all this awesome stuff. As the previous episode before, this episode would either be in the 90s or late 80s episodes. And when I get to 100, I'm deciding whether I want to keep doing it or not. Because there are times where this has affected people, and they've commented and they let me know that it's hit on a certain level, and they thank me for that episode just as much as the majority seems like it's there. So please let me know. I'm also open to adjustments. I'm also open to improvements. what would you think I would need to do to make this more better experience, a more lively experience? I've for a short period on YouTube, I've had a visual intro, and if you're listening to podcasts, you also heard the intro, the podcast intro. So please let me know if anything, if you want to incorporate anything, and if you would like to sponsor me, or if you'd like to donate support, please go to the Fix Your Character Motivation page, find that support button, donation, whatever you feel. But if not, just your pure likes, just your pure sharing, just your pure subscribing lets me know that this is a good thing to do. I'm your host Quan, and deuces.